Hi, Cindy.
Hi,
Nice to see you.
nice to see you.
I've been eager to have our conversation and have an opportunity to get your input. So here we are.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to just have a conversation with you.
Great. Awesome. Well, let's get started. And if I could start with just introducing you,
Sure.
that would be wonderful. Let's see. So, Cindy Shu is a licensed marriage and family therapist in private practice with an office located in San Francisco and currently offering telehealth to residents of California. She works primarily with Asian American working professionals who may need support around managing depression, anxiety, and work-related stress. And she offers support to first-generation Asian Americans who are exploring their cultural identities while navigating family dynamics, expectations, and intergenerational trauma. Cindy works collaboratively and authentically and empowers clients to advocate for themselves and use their voice to help deepen connections within themselves and others. She hopes to destigmatize mental health and therapy in the Asian American community and shed light on the human experience that we all share, which is all individuals are intrinsically valued and worthy of human connection. Oh, mm. Well, welcome, Cindy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, that's such a powerful bio. It makes me just want to pause, but I know people are interested, and I'm interested in hearing what you have to say. So let's just dive in.
Sure.
In the midst of a pandemic, parents are juggling, working and in many cases working from home while supporting their kids, many of whom are engaged in remote learning. And it's a challenge, right? They're trying to create, I know I'm trying to create some semblance of structure and so-called normalcy in the midst of it. And I'm curious what you have to say or what you want to share with parents.
Yeah, I think this year has just been, you know, so many unknowns, and we've really had to learn how to adjust with each step that we take.
Yeah.
And I think parents are trying their best, and I think a lot of times parents might be really hard on themselves and want to create structure or create normalcy in an environment that feels very out of control.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that will create an increased sense of stress and anxiety for the parents. And I bring that up because children, whether you're in elementary or even in high school, students really can feel their parents' energy and their parents' stress. They're like sponges, right? And so I bring that up to kind of give parents a sense of, how can we take a step back here? How can we, instead of creating this sense of normalcy, can we adjust and let that be okay?
Wow. Tell me, do you have some specific thoughts or tips on how we can maybe loosen that idea, that vision of structure and normalcy, and I don't know, have a little bit of flexibility in there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it starts with ourselves, right? It starts with, are we taking care of our individual selves? Parents tend to prioritize their children out of love and care, and their parents, right? That's a very parent thing to do. But often I work with parents who just aren't sleeping well, they're not eating well, they're not able to take care of themselves, and they're stressed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's so important to take a step back and think, okay, how can you take care of you? When you take care of you, you're also taking care of your child. So that might mean, instead of struggling with guilty feelings that you can't play with your child today, you need to take some time of rest. You need to read a book. You need to take a bath. Your children want you to be present. They're okay if you miss playtime or reading time. They want your presence. And so if you can make sure to take care of you, then any other time is just fine.
Okay.
A child is not discriminatory. Oh, you need to be present for me during game time and reading time and dinner time. It's they're seeing you all day and they want to make sure that you're doing okay.
That's an interesting, perspective, that they want to know that you're doing okay. Yeah. What do you, that raises for me a question, Cindy, what do you think about, being transparent with your kids when you're not having a good day and you're maybe more anxious, in a given moment? What do you think about being transparent about that with your kids?
I think that's completely normal. I think that's helpful. Children need to know how to manage their emotions in a healthy way. And so if they see their mom or their dad or their caregiver feeling stressed, it's okay. How do you responsibly model that for your child? And how do you express that anxiety in a way that's healthy? It's not about bottling it up. It's not about being really strong and put together. It's, mommy feels really anxious right now and I need to take a breather. I need to go for a walk. Would you like to join me? Right?
Yep. Or maybe mom needs to go and scream into her pillow for a few minutes, right? Or have a socially distanced walk with a friend. Yeah. Or have a dance party. Yeah.
And think of how you can, engage your child in those activities. And all the while modeling to your child that it's okay to be anxious. It's okay to feel scared. It's okay to feel stressed. I'm sure children are stressed out of their minds. They're not with their friends. They're stuck in front of a computer. Things are not normal.
Yeah.
How do we acknowledge that this is not normal? As opposed to making everything else feel normal as a way to compensate.
Cindy, that's such a different message, I think, than what many of us grow up with, right? We're supposed to project that confidence that everything is just fine and it's all going to be fine. And like you said, there's so much uncertainty, and we don't know if the pandemic, if and when it's going to hit our own families, right? So there's a real valid fear that many folks are experiencing and walking around with. Do you have any thoughts about that it may be easy to hear that, oh yeah, it's okay to say that I'm feeling a little bit anxious, but when it goes so strongly against the messages that we have ingrained, it may not be so easy to kind of translate that and put that into action. Do you have any suggestions or just, reactions to that?
I think it makes you human to acknowledge those things. I think you deserve it to yourself. Your child deserves it. Just a sense of transparency that you are also experiencing this pandemic along with your children. You didn't get to pre-plan this and prepare for this. You are, adjusting as time goes. And there are so many changes, right? And I think your child just, again, needs your presence, and you get to model what it's like to be human. And in turn, they feel comfortable coming to their parents with the same feelings. I'm anxious, I'm scared. I don't know what's going to happen next year. Very normal. I think if we're thinking, do we want children to bottle up those big feelings or those emotions? No. They need support. They need help. They need to know that it's okay to have these feelings. And if we're acknowledging that for kids, all the more acknowledge it for ourselves so that we can have this capacity to walk our children through these big feelings.
Yeah. I love that. I think it's coming from a place of honesty, and authenticity, And it's not going to be the only experience they're going to have in their life when things are going to be uncertain and
Yeah.
feel out of control.
Yeah.
So to role model that is not easy. It's in fact really difficult at times. It seems like a really great message to send our kids.
Yeah. I think a lot of parents are, again, very critical, self-critical. They want to make sure everything is on time, dinner and everything has to be put together, and, you know, a lot of negative judgment when bedtime isn't at the right time, or when there's toys laying around the living room. Or I think in the grand scheme of 2020, I think it's important to scale back and focus on what we are needing emotionally. The other things can subside for now. And in doing so, you're creating a new sense of normal. It's, you know, toys are going to be there, and that's okay. I think what, as a mom or as a dad or as a caregiver, what you need is maybe a deep breath. And those things that feel out of your control, breathing in and recognizing what is within your control in this moment, which is, what do you need for you? Right? And we can only really love our children and be there for them and encourage them, support them in a way where we have capacity to do so. But otherwise we burn out.
Absolutely.
We become irritable. We become short-tempered. We lose sight of what it really means to be a parent, other than just surviving and chugging along and trying to keep things neat and tidy.
Do you have thoughts around, I think a lot of people, a lot of parents might say, I don't know what I need, right? Do you have any thoughts about how to explore that, right? If really and truly you say, I don't know what I need. Or I need to go to Hawaii and that's not happening. So yeah. Any thoughts about that?
Yeah. I think moments of quiet time throughout the day is a good place to start. Just to hear yourself think out loud, to hear yourself breathing, you know, in a really conscious, present way. And letting your heart race kind of slow down and let the thoughts kind of simmer down. And I think from that place, you can assess what you need in that moment. Do you need to drink some tea? Do you need to read a book? Do you need to hide in the bathroom and lock the door for 10 minutes? Do you need to meet up with a friend for a socially distanced walk? I think until you give yourself moments of silence throughout the day to really do a scan of what you need and think, what feels good? What am I needing? What is serving me? What is nourishing for me? Then you will know for you what is helpful, right? And I have to comment, I think social media and technology and Netflix, and those are things that I love as well, sometimes aren't the most helpful. They're easy. They're right there. You can scroll through social media as a way to avoid the tensions or the stress of a household. But perhaps the 20 minutes that you're scrolling, you need to go for a walk instead. Or you need to listen to music or listen to a podcast, something that's a little bit more engaging, and as opposed to just shutting down, and as a way to numb yourself.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so having that awareness is what I'm hearing around when we're doing that, when we're just trying to go numb versus when we're really trying to engage with what is it that I need, what is going to feel good, what's going to be healthy, and help, you know, me navigate right now. And there are times when, like you said, Netflix is the thing, right? Or social media. So,
and sometimes what you need can come with a sense of guilt or a sense of shame. You know, am I a good enough mom to be taking this hour break? Am I a good enough mom if I'm going to choose to watch Netflix as opposed to doing laundry?
Mm-hmm.
We get into this sort of comparison of, am I a good enough parent? Do I deserve some time to myself? Do I deserve self-care? Have I worked hard enough today? Have I earned it? I think we in the society often think that good things have to be earned. But in actuality, good things is what sustains us.
Mm.
It's actually what keeps us going. And your children need you to be sustainable.
Good
Right?
things are what sustain us. I like that. And they do need us, yeah, to take care of ourselves. Okay. Cindy, this has been wonderful.
Yeah.
Any closing comments or remarks before we say goodbye today?
Yeah. Again, I can't help reiterate. I think parents are doing their best, and I hope that they acknowledge that for themselves.
Mm.
That this is a year of unknowns, and each day that they are taking care of themselves so that they can take care of their children is a good day.
Mm.
What that looks like day to day may look different, and that's okay.
Mm. Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Really enjoyed this time with you. All right. Take good care, Cindy.
Thank you. You
Be
too.
well. Okay, I will. Bye-bye now.